Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. Um, there has been so many things going on lately that I hardly have time to share what the Lord teaches me or places in my heart. I know better and should actually do better, but anyway, I wanted to come on tonight, this morning, to share a brief message that I want to hopefully go in depth soon. I want to talk about healing. A lot of people in this world are carrying so much hurt, so much pain, so much anger, disappointment, and even carrying other people on their backs who they were supposed to let go a long time ago. And many of us have a sense of who God is and what we want, but we have trouble or difficulty merging the two, which leads us to unrealistic expectations and hurt in the process. It is time for healing. It is time for release. It is time to let go and let God. Before you start the process of healing, though, you need to do introspection and find the hurt, because you cannot heal what you cannot identify. We cannot keep going in circles by repeating cycles, because if we jump from one relationship to the next, that causes us to stay stagnant or repeat the same mistakes. And I'm not only talking about romantic relationships, but with your friends or even with parents too. You cannot have a child just to prove that you are a better mother. You need to heal. And you cannot get over someone by getting under someone else. You need to heal. You need to find the hurt and find the reason why this specific relationship is broken. Acknowledge the hurt, acknowledge the disappointments, because you feel disappointed. And the reason you feel disappointed is because of the expectations you had on that person, on that specific person. So do the impossible and put yourself in their shoes to allow yourself to see them through God's eyes. You will be totally amazed to see that sometimes it's not that people want to hurt you. It's just that that was all they could give. Their capacity was not equal to yours. You expected a lot because you give more. And that means your capacity exceeds theirs. Even if you were waiting to hear an apology from them, it won't happen, because they really have nothing to be sorry for. This, or who they are, is all they can be. And you have to be okay with that and forgive them anyway. Healing is a process, not a prayer. Yes, you can pray, but it's just not only a prayer, and it's not a chant you can do, but a process. Just like a wound, you put on the band-aid to stop the bleeding. Once the bleeding stops, you rip off the band-aid. It might sting, but it stings because the wound is now exposed. Remember, for the wound to heal, it has to be cleaned every now and then until a scab starts to form. And once it forms a scab, then only then you can just leave it exposed, dry and itchy. And you should not scratch because it might leave a scar. And at this point, natural healing is better because your skin will eventually heal itself. But if you keep removing the scab after scab, you are prolonging the process, therefore causing yourself delay. So remember this: healing is a process. Number 1, identify the hurt. Number 2, treat it from the root and not the fruit. What I mean by that is, maybe you are a bitter or angry or clingy person, which is the fruit. And that was actually caused by maybe the first man to leave you, which is the root. So you treat your symptoms from the root, not the fruit, so that you can understand your triggers and understand why you are where you are. And then, number 3, you recognize and acknowledge your hurt and be honest about it. Be honest about what your expectations were and where you felt disappointed. Because through that, you will find the why of the hurt. And then, number 4, reconcile the hurt with forgiveness. Yes. Once you find out what your hurt is, where it stems from, and why it is there, you need to learn to forgive. You forgive yourself, you forgive the other party, and sometimes you blame God, you forgive God. You forgive anything and everything or anyone and everyone that you feel caused the hurt. And sometimes we turn to blame God for our hurt, but forgetting that it is situations that we created ourselves and dragged God in them. And now we make it God's responsibility for Him to be the one to blame for that hurt. So, in actual fact, we should forgive ourselves for blaming God and asking God to forgive us for that, for blaming Him, not the other way around. Then you take your time to heal, but don't stay there. Go through it because it's meant to be a passage, not a building. You have to go through it. And finally, let go and let God. I want to go deeper on the next video on a journey to healing. I'm going to end it here for today because I think the more we break it down, the more we understand where we are and in what part of our journey of healing we are at, and the more we can be able to heal, and the more our journey of wholeness becomes better and more realistic. So till next time, to God be the glory.